Lakini mtazamaji, pia niruhusu nikupeleke kaunti ya Kisumu ambako kongamano la 7 la viwanda linaendelea kule. Viongozi mbalimbali wa sekta mbalimbali wanaohusiana na masuala ya biashara wako kwenye kongamano hilo. Acha nikupeleke huko tujue yanayojiri.
Sheria katika katiba umekiuka, kwa sababu wanasema hivi si mwanasheria, lakini katika act ya police act na mambo ya security act inasema kuwa
Professor Benson Ateng, chairperson KIPPRA board, KIPPRA board members, national government officials present, county government officials present. I also want to recognize a former head of public service, Bwana Mudaura, karibu sana. All invited guests, my fellow managing directors, CEOs of various institutions, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Yeah, I take this opportunity to welcome you to Kisumu County, and I've learned a new word, Pacho Dala. I also extend a heartfelt welcome to members of diplomatic corps, development partners, and corporate sponsors that have rendered invaluable support to the Institute. And just to mention, European Union, KCB Foundation, GIZ, International Potato Center, Partnership for Economic Policy, Kenya Nuclear Regulatory Authority, Kenya Airways, and NCBA Bank. We appreciate the partnership because it has helped us, one, to bring in the youth who are having a side event, and they are able to deliberate on matters to do with the youth and their participation in the industrialization process. So this is our 7th KIPPRA Annual Regional Conference since inception in 2018, and it provides a platform for us to engage and exchange policy views, as well as also disseminate research findings. From the conference held last year, the discourse centered on accelerating economic growth for ASALs in Kenya, and this institute is supporting the State Department for ASAL and Regional Development in the review of the National ASAL Policy, Sessional Paper number 8 of 2012, on the national policy for the sustainable development for Northern Kenya, and other arid lands. So we also expect that with the 7th Annual Regional Conference, we shall come out with key recommendations that come from the discussions, and we shall share them with the government agencies, government departments, state departments, as well as the Senate, which is represented here, as well as the National Parliament. And this will help us in terms of ensuring that the voices from the participants actually get into the policy process. The 7th Annual Regional Conference discusses matters to do with the future of industrialization in Kenya, looking at aspects to do with the capabilities that we have for industrialization, and exploring also how we can finance the industrial activities, matters to do with the value chain. We've just come from one right now, as well as compliance with various standards, and exploring also the green initiatives, and looking at how we can actually promote industrialization both at the national level at the county level where everything actually happens in implementing government policy. So I have a great team that has actually went out of their way to plan and organize this conference, and I want to acknowledge and commend the hard work and dedication that they have given to the preparation process, led by Ms. Irene Mithia and Jean Kenda. As I conclude, I want to encourage participants to actively engage in the discussions and share their valuable experiences, because it is through these experiences that the evidence generators are able to pick what is it that they can go and research on and actually bring back evidence. And this helps us in shaping policies that will drive the future industrialization as well as economic transformation for Kenya. So I want to thank all of you, and at this juncture, I want to welcome the chair of the board of KIPPRA, Professor Atieng. Karibu. Tumkaribishe. Karibu sana.
Senator Esther Okenyuri, Vice Chair, Senate Standing Committee on Trade and Industry. Senator Crystal Asige, Member, Senate Standing Committee on Trade and Industry. His Excellency Dr. Matthew Ochieng Owili, Deputy Governor, Kisumu County, representing the Governor, Kisumu County. Mr. Timothy Gakuo, Economic Planning Secretary, representing the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Economic Planning. Ms. Mary Kalerwa, Regional Industrial Development Officer, Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, representing the Cabinet Secretary, Investment, Trade and Industry. KIPPRA board members, Dr. Rose Ngugi, Executive Director, KIPPRA, national government officials present, county government officials present, Ambassador Dr. Mudaura, former Head of Public Service and Secretary to the Cabinet, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I take this opportunity to extend heartfelt gratitude to you all for accepting to attend this event. Your presence is a confirmation of the continued support to KIPPRA. It is also a demonstration of the commitment to advancing deliberations of the National Development Agenda. Deliberations on industrialization is timely. From yesterday's presentations, the goal is to raise the contribution of industrialization to GDP to about 20% by the year 2030. This requires that our nation advances from low technology industries to high and advanced technology industries that are globally competitive and sustainable. This conference has been organized with the support and facilitation of county governments in the Lake Region Economic Bloc, led by His Excellency Honorable Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, Governor, Kisumu County, and Chair, Lake Region Economic Bloc, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Economic Planning, Ms. Rebecca Miano, Cabinet Secretary, Trade, Investment and Industry, and Honorable Ababu Namwamba, Cabinet Secretary, Youth Affairs, Sports and the Arts. I extend our heartfelt gratitude to all of them for their tireless commitment to realize this conference. Without their support, it would not have been possible for us to hold the conference. Today, I'm accompanied by the board members who have provided oversight in preparation of this conference. I would like to request KIPPRA board members to be upstanding at this moment. And I would ask them just to turn around and wave at the audience. Thank you very much. You may be seated. As a board, we are proud to have steered the Institute to build capacity at the national and county governments, private sector, and the youth as well. In this context, we recognize the indispensable role of our youth in driving the engine of industrialization. We have over 140 youth in this conference, drawn from the youth groups in the Lake Region Economic Bloc, counties, student organizations, and the KIPPRA Mentorship Program for universities and tertiary institutions. We equipped them with knowledge and skills in industrialization and creative economy. Our future vision is to attain a campus that provides a cutting edge on environment for research, policy analysis, and capacity building. This campus will be equipped with the state-of-the-art facilities, fostering innovation and collaboration among researchers, policymakers, and students. Through continued support and strategic partnerships, we are committed to driving evidence-based policy advice and offering high-quality training programs that will shape the leaders and decision makers of tomorrow. We thank the government for the support and provision of resources that have facilitated the Institute to deliver its mandate. In the last 26 years, the Institute has experienced significant growth in both institutional activities and human resources because of the support that we continue to get from the government. In conclusion, I affirm our steadfast dedication to advancing the government's development agenda and cooperating with all relevant stakeholders to establish Kenya as an industrial powerhouse globally, where no one is left behind. Asanteni sana, and may God bless Kenya.
Seems my microphone is off. Asante sana. Sound person. I appreciate that. So at this particular moment, to give the next remarks after our board chair. And board chair, thank you very much. You know, in the spirit of being young, you look very vibrant. And when we talk about Gen Zs, trust me, you're also included in that. Don't feel sidelined, all right? Very, very important. What matters is the heart. Tell your neighbor, what matters is the heart. Okay? And we have a heart for this country. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to give remarks, the chair of the Senate Standing Committee on Trade, Industry and Tourism was here yesterday, spoke very passionately on matters industrialization in this country. And today we are glad to have the Vice Chair of the Senate Committee, Senator Okenyuri. Tafadhali mpigeni makofi akikuja Senator Esther Okenyuri for her address. Mpigeni hadi afike. Asanteni sana. Senator, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I do not know if I should also associate myself with the Generation Z. I'm a millennial, though I think we are a bit similar, even in physique, if you can see. So, good afternoon.
I want to say that I'm glad to be here and just say that I go by the name Senator Okenyuri Esther. I'm a nominated senator representing women and young people at the Senate. I serve as the Senate's Trade Committee Vice Chair. And because I have a background in research, I thought, despite me being a legislator, I think also having a background in research, it's very important for me to participate in this conference, because in this manner, we are able to make decisions from points of information so that you are not speaking from a point of lacking knowledge. So secondly, I'm happy about the young people from Sigalagala Polytechnic who are making a presentation here. Those are some of the talents you can see from our young people. In my earlier life working in the strategy and delivery unit, we did a lot of work in the technical, vocational education and training sector. So I know why issues such as TVET are very critical on industrialization in this country. And now at the Senate, I'm currently sponsoring the bill that is the street vendors bill. So the stakeholders here, if you have any other thing you think might improve that bill, you're very welcome. And any others that might make our ideas better, because at the Senate and the Parliament generally is to make policy ideas that come up be implemented and become law so that it can be enforced. So I think I'm at the right place and we are with the right people. So you're very much welcome. As I wind up, currently the conversation is about young people. But the success of industrialization in this country depends on blended efforts of both young people and the senior citizens and the ones who are the middle category. So in as much as we young people want to push for transformation of this country, we also need to borrow a leaf from those who have gone before us. This I'm saying because there looks like there's a separation between young people and those who are way older. So we realize we need to blend the two for us to succeed. So at this point, you'll allow me to introduce my colleague, Senator Crystal Asige, and I think she'll give her sentiments briefly so that we do not spend a lot of time here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies, hi. Gentlemen, hi, hey. We're good. You know, I'm a visually impaired person, so audio is, I use my ears to see, so audio is very important. Thank you so much for inviting us at the Senate Standing Committee on Trade and Industrialization. My name is Senator Crystal Asige. My county is Mombasa. My party is ODM, and my duty is disability. And the reason why I say all those three things is because I am a visually impaired person, as you can see. A what? A visually impaired person. Lakini the streets, najulikana tu kwa streets kama VIP in short. And that's why I exist in the Senate. In the Senate, I am in the Trade Industrialization Committee, as well as the Labor and Social Protection Committee. And I am also in the executive committee of KIPPRA, that is the Kenya Women Parliamentarians, and also I sit in the Climate Change Caucus in the Senate as well. I also have been gladly and blessed to be voted a top performing senator since we began in 2022. Thank you. Disability can do, not just what the propaganda that is always spread out there. Disability is not inability. And the reason why I'm top performing is because I have up to date been able to pass 4 bills in the Senate unanimously, and I have 6 others that I'm working on currently as we speak. The 4 that have already been passed are the Persons with Disabilities Bill, now in National Assembly. Also the Learners with Disabilities Bill, also National Assembly is now considering it. The Kenya Sign Language Bill is my 3rd. And the last one, and most importantly for this conference, is the Start-up Bill, where youth, business, innovation, technology are the order of the day in the Startup Bill. And I hope that if you have not yet done public participation, which is its current stage in National Assembly, you will get involved in it. And thank you for all of those who have already been able to give their views to the Startup Bill. I thank KIPPRA for inviting us here today. Thank you for what you're doing with the youth, because I am a youth. Thank you for what you're doing with women in business, because I am also a woman who has a creative business. Thank you for what you're doing with persons with disabilities, making it inclusive, making business and doing business and this industry and economy inclusive to persons with disabilities. And I also want to thank the youth very quickly. You all know, I hope that the Sigalagala, wananikumbuka, I am also a musician. Before I came to the Senate, I have been, and I still am, singing and creating music. Most of you will remember me from Extravaganza. Sindio? Ae rumba imetamba. Mnakumbuka hiyo nyimbo? Yes, that was me in that video, and I really thank KIPPRA for having music and entertainment and the arts also featured at this very important conference. Congratulations to KIPPRA for the 7 years of good work you're doing in research, in capacity building, and in shining a light on the MSME space and how we can improve together as Kenyans. I just want to say that to the youth, as I close, we need to remember that we are not the future, we are today. We are right now, okay? We are seeing it right now. In case you've not noticed, the youth are taking over. If you've not noticed, in the Senate Standing Committee on Trade and Industrialization, together with my vice chair, women and also youth are taking over. And people will have to either join with us or get out of the way, because youth are here, and youth are here to absolutely stay. Youth muko. Wo, wo, wo. Ata wazime tatu tazidi kupate. Wo, wo, wo. Hey, hizi vitu wazitakangi utiaje. Don't forget that you are here, and the time is now and not tomorrow, and we are here to stay. Viva comrades and viva Kenyan youth. Asante.
Asante sana, Senator Crystal Asige. Industrialization. Hey, some youth were not shikanisharing the songs. It's time to go back to your playlist and start asking, what song was that? Very, very important. But thank you very much, Senator Crystal Asige, and what you're doing at the Senate, being voted the best performing senator. That is testament and the backing that as young people, when given opportunity, we can do something amazing, and we are here. So once again, let us appreciate her for an amazing, amazing job that she's doing. And now to speak on behalf, of course, to represent the Cabinet Secretary, Investment, Trade and Industry, I'd like to welcome Ms. Mary Kalerwa, who's the Regional Industrial Development Officer, to represent the CS Investment, Trade and Industry, Ms. Rebecca Miano. The floor is yours. Karibu.
As you have heard, my name is Mary Kalerwa. I'm the Regional Industrial Development Officer, Kisumu Region. I'm a Deputy Director by designation from the Ministry, State Department of Industrialization. I'm here to represent the CS. Her apologies, receive her apologies. She's on another assignment, but she would have loved to be with us. Therefore, I'll do the noble task of just reading through her speech. Welcoming remarks by Honorable Rebecca Miano, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, during the 7th KIPPRA Annual Regional Conference held at Ciala Resort, Kisumu County on 27th June 2024. Senator Esther Okenyuri, Vice Chair, Senate Standing Committee on Trade and Industry. Senator Crystal Asige, Member, Senate Standing Committee on Trade and Industry. His Excellency Dr. Matthew Ochieng Owili, Deputy Governor, Kisumu County, representing the Governor, Kisumu County. Mr. Timothy Gaku, Economic Planning Secretary, representing the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Economic Planning. Professor Benson Ateng, Chairperson, KIPPRA Board of Management. KIPPRA board members, Dr. Rose Ngugi, Executive Director, KIPPRA, national government officials present, county government officials present, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Joining you today at the 7th KIPPRA Annual Regional Conference warms my heart, particularly because of the radar. On the radar is the future of industrialization in our country. The theme of the conference, the future of industrialization in Kenya, pathways to industrialization in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, resonates with our ministry's mandate to create a more prosperous and sustainable future for our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout history, nations have surmounted poverty through the transformative potential of industrialization in driving economic growth, creating employment, and fostering innovation. Kenya stands at a crucial juncture in its development journey, and therefore the decisions we make today, based on the views we shall glean from, the conference will shape the trajectory of the growth of our industrial sector for generations to come.